Back to the channel, guys. We're getting our OSB wet. Trailer's slaying a little bit downhill. I wanted to get this covered up tonight, but we got to start on this rebar. What I want to do is the next project is back at the other job there where we did the concrete footing repair on that garage. Well, the bay next door is like a little workshop. He wants the same thing done, so we're doing a continuation, and he wants us to do the same thing, form it up. We're going to use the same forms. We're going to build a 4-row with like a chair, or we'll build like a rectangle. I want to weld it. Weld all this up in one piece. The building is about 12 feet long. So if the rebar is about 12 feet long in a 4-way, that's how we'll do this. Weld it up at home because we tried down at the job and you saw how sloppy it was, that we didn't have a proper tie system. It didn't matter. We got 4 rows of rebar in there. But this one, we're going to make it look a little bit nicer, maybe do it in one piece and spend a little time at home. So we're going to unload this, and then we'll throw something over this wood, and we're going to use it up right away. It's not going to hurt it anyway. It's a garage. All right. We're inside the garage now. We barely walked in here. You know, we got too much stuff and nowhere to put it. Just for an idea, on our Subway package here, we got subs yesterday. They're amazing. Dawson got was it steak with, what kind of cheese? American cheese? And toasted. And he had onions on it, toasted. And I had a Black Forest ham. And I had jalapenos on mine. And they toasted the cheese on that. That was good. And I had a wheat bread. I think you had an Italian cheese, right? Anyways, that was pretty good. And we got a tip from a customer who gave us about I don't know, nice gift card, enough to buy our dinner. So it's pretty cool. Now, what we got is about, I think we ended up with somewhere between a 10 and 12 inch wide footing on that garage. And it was about a foot deep, a little bit more maybe. So I put rows like this of rebar. And I want to link them together like that. The way we did it before is we had uprights coming up and we kind of tied to, and it was kind of sloppy, wasn't it? It worked. But what I'd like to do is take a piece of rebar, and I'd like to make this square, roughly that size, and put our rebar either inside or outside, just tack weld it. It doesn't have to be any greater than that. And we can also put our wire ties around it. And that'll keep the same distance apart. We'll run them 12 or slightly larger, and we can cut them on site. What we did before was there was an 8x8 beam on the building, and I drilled holes into that. And I pounded rebar into that to lock it in. And then we took rebar, 1/2 inch, and pounded it into the ground and came up and then tied to that. And that will keep our wall from moving. And that's kind of what I want to do. So I want to make these brackets. I don't know what they're called. I know on a commercial site they look really nice because probably they have strict guidelines. We have no guideline for this. This is something I want to do. I'll spend the homeowner's money and we'll put in a strong footing. And so we need to make this and bend it. So we're going to use a cheap little rebar bender. Where do we set it? Right here probably, right under me. And I want to bend this. So we're going to hook on these and bend one piece to come over, and then we're going to tack weld them. So what we decided to do, instead of bending all them, it's kind of crowded in here, it's raining outside, so we're just going to extend these. Our garage is 12 foot on the outside, so we're going to end up being like 11 feet 6 or something on the inside. So we're going to extend these, and then we can tie wire them or spot weld them. But the thing that I wanted to do was to make that rectangle to keep the bars the proper distance apart. So he's marking them. He's going to cut them in the chop saw here. So we're just going to line up our 30s and go ahead and do some tack weld. We'll probably put tie wire on it tomorrow too.
Alright, Dad's going to do a couple tack welds, and then we're going to finish with the rebar wire.
And I'll probably do both sides here a little bit. Gotta have a little more heat. They're only a MIG weld. Boy, I really like the
Arc welder.
arc welder, boy. It's bzzz, done. It's still not really hot now. A little better. I want them to stick together, you know. I have a little bit of feed problem tonight. So I'll start the job tomorrow. That's why I'm out here tonight. Like I said, the job isn't 9 to 5. I do stuff at home, get things ready, go get materials, do this, do that. Make some things ready to make the job go faster during the day. So that's it for this one. We're going to do them all like that. We're going to make 4 of them. And then I'd like to do some kind of, it probably doesn't have to be this heavy, but some kind of wire. We might use those insulation support wires. What that's going to give us is a cage. And I want to make cages to keep these all the same distance apart. Now Dawson's doing a couple of them. He wants to do it. He's pretty new at the welding, but his eyes are better than mine. I know he can see. Nighttime here, I'm having pretty good sight, but it's when the sun's outside. Let's see how that is. That's not bad. This one,
A little more.
that's not bad. Just a little bit more. Get a little more penetration on it. But we're not relying on these welds. It's only to hold them together tonight so we can get the tie wires on them. All right, now we're gonna do all 4 this way. Slide your clamp over, and then here's another one. Ugh. He's already marked our mark, so I'm just holding them. He's just going forward and backwards, staying about a ½ inch or so away from the material so it doesn't stick. Yeah, that's a good one. Then come up to do this one. You want that heat on it. We're using that Lincoln 140 there. It works pretty good. I wish I had the gas attachment on it. It'd be a lot cleaner, but it'll work. Let's see what you got.
A little more.
Little chicken. Let's see. That one's pretty good. I'd hit both of them just a little more, warm them up. Slow down. Maybe you're moving too fast. That's what I did when I first started with MIG. Is I was moving like I'm using an arc, and it's not the same. You're not the same amount of material. Little tiny. I think we're using 30 thousandths wire right now, so it's not very big.
Those are pretty good, right? Not bad.
It is. So grab your clamp. We'll do the last one, and then we'll find those wire supports. I think will make our cage nice. So we took the insulation wire. See how heavy that is? Pretty heavy stuff. Put it in a vise. They're 23.5 to use a 24-inch bay. I have 16 somewhere, but these will work. That's 5 3/4 times 4. There's our box, and our rod will go in here. And so that'll make a perfect chair for us. All right. Dawson made up a bunch of 5 3/4, and I welded the corners. So there we go. Now we got our wire tire, our tie wires, and we're going to try to make a square out of these rods. All right, we got one tied. It's not super pretty, but see what we do here. We're tying this off to keep it square. So what we're doing is making these. The easiest way I've been doing it here, probably not the right way. You guys know how to do this. Is just bring your wire around the inside like that. Come in, pull your bar up like this, and then bend your wire on the inside. But see what we get? We got this nice square going on. And when we set it down in our hole, we're going to have our vertical rebar, and we could tie right into 2 of these. And it's going to be a strong wall. It's not super pretty, but look at how functional this is. See how strong that is? A lot of stuff in the way here, you can tell. We got a lot of projects. We had We did body work on the car. We never put stuff away. That one was from the deck we just did. We got the vacuum what I work on. I did something we vacuumed. The chop saw we had worked on. The grease, I just did the wheel bearings in the trailer. We got the weed whackers. Dawson was working on them one day. Flashing, forgot where that's from. We put plastic over our lumber. We got materials to return. Look at this mess in here. Well, I thought we had a working garage, guys. What happened? But anyways, this eliminated a lot of problems down at the job, because now we're going to set this on the trailer and we're going to take it down there and we're all done. We're going to set it in a hole after we get our forms up and stake it with a rebar, start pouring when we're ready. All right, guys, we see I started on getting our stuff around for the morning. We got our form boards and our wheelbarrow, ladders, cement mixers out here, shovels, tools. And then here's our rebar formation. See how nice that is? Here it is, dark 30, man. Did we have dinner yet? Well, here it is the next morning. Now we can see what we're doing. You see how we made our little square. We're going to have a 12-inch wide footing, 12 inches deep minimum. And this is going to fit down in there and give us a lot of strength. And we can pour into it. It's harder to build our form and then set these down in there and try to tie them and keep them square. And so this is going to work out pretty good, I think. We're going to load up and get ready for the job. This is just a short video on setup of what I think this is going to be a better way to set our rebar and tie it off. So we'll see you soon on the next job. Follow along in the series and we'll get this garage all fixed up for him.